One of the things I learned how to use pretty recently was pivot tables in Excel, and I found it to be pretty important in doing some analysis of data from our RMS system. So I wanted to show and tell a little bit of what I've learned and give a little tutorial on how to do some of the basic stuff. The first part here, I'm just going to be talking about setting up data in Excel and getting it ready for a pivot table. Later in part 2, I'll talk about how to actually manipulate the data and see something from it. Just about all of our RMS systems, just about any database there is, you're usually going to have the option to do some sort of a text or a comma separated value export. This might not be the easy way, but it will work for virtually any system that captures information. So in this case, Firehouse, it could be our telestaff, it could be our training system, it could be our EMS system. So the same concepts will work for any of those. Basically, take a text file, open it in Excel. It's probably a good idea to include as much data as you can. It's, as you'll see, pretty easy to filter data out later, and having too much data is really not a problem at all. I'm going to show you some simple formatting tricks to help you later in it to be able to do some queries. And then finally, in this first part, I'll show you how to actually create the pivot table. So here I have about 4 years worth of data for incidents, about 3.5 years out of our RMS system. It's important that each one of these columns at the top have some sort of a heading. That's critical to making this work. Some of the stuff is hidden, so instead of having to go through and adjust each one of these, the first trick is if you click here, it highlights the entire Excel field, and then double click. See right between these two columns how the cursor changes. If you double click that, it will adjust all the columns to the correct width. One of the things I'm going to do here is I'm going to expand the date field. So if I go to this column, right click and go insert, and I'm actually going to do twice. I'm also going to change this one to just D date, and you'll see why. I'm going to make this one D month, and I'm going to make this one D year, and you'll see later that helps with the formatting. From right here I go down and I'm going to go equals text value. I'm going to click this comma and then what I want it formatted to. So in this case, month, I'm going to go either MM, which is going to give me the month in a number format, like January would be 01, or I can go MMM, which is going to give me the answer in 3-letter code. So whichever one of those you'd like. This one is basically going to say the same thing. I hit equals, text, value is again going to be that one, comma, and in this case I'll do YY. And again, if I did YY 4 Ys, I would get that in a 4-digit number. So whatever works for you. Now I'm going to highlight these. Now I could just drag this all the way down and fill out these, but I've got 20,000 records here, so that could take a while. So a trick is to just go to this where your cursor changes that small plus and double click that, and it will continue copying that all the way down. So you can see it's updated all those. What else do I have here? So I've got the incident number, the station field, the incident type. Okay, in this case I'm going to expand this also, and I'm just going to make a category. So again, I go here and I'm going to go equals, and I'm going to use this one, but I want just a left one character. So I'm going to try to spell left. I think I did this wrong. In this case, I'm going to go left, and I hit return. All right. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and hit the equal sign. Up here, I'm going to type in left and enter. Alright, so I'm going to hit the equal sign, and then up here I start typing left, and then I'll double click this, and it will ask me for the other thing. So in this case I'm going to go, the text is going to be that field, comma, and then the number of characters. In this case I only want one, and then close that. What that's done is it's looked at this field here, the 321, and it's only produced the leftmost character. So if I again double click this, it will show what category it is. So ones would be fires, two would be explosions, which aren't used very much, three would be medical aids, and so on and so forth. Incident type property use is going to be the code for the property use type. Mutual aid I might want to use later to filter stuff out. And then these are property loss and contents loss from fires, fire service fatalities, fire service injuries, and then civilian injuries and casualties. And then this is a staff ID of the person making the report, which might be useful later. So from here, just to make the table is pretty easy. Again, I select all the data, and then I hit insert. Oh, before I do this, look at the bottom. I've actually got two different things here. I've got one for the incident data and one for transport data. So the only one is going to be using this first one here. From here, I create a pivot table, and it's asking me if I want to include all that. I've got everything highlighted, so that's already set, and I want to do it to a new worksheet, which is always a good idea. So just use the defaults there and hit OK, and then it will add a new sheet down here, and all those fields at the top are listed here. That's it for now. I'll go to part 2 and I'll show you how to do some stuff.